Hi everyone, welcome to Online Education Management Vlog 8. Today's topic is about educational leadership for managing quality and management theories in education. How do education leaders manage quality education? What does a quality education mean? How can education leaders achieve quality education and manage quality? How can teaching ethics in educational leadership help in managing quality? These questions will be discussed in this paper. As I think how school administrators work on how to provide and achieve a quality education, they usually work on accreditation of school from higher education institutions. In the case of the Philippines, public and private schools, universities seek accreditation from the Commission of Higher Education. Here in Cambodia, international schools seek accreditation from both the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports and Western Association of Schools and Colleges, or the so-called WASC, Cambridge, UK, and other accreditation agencies that are approved by the government. Without accreditation from such accreditation agencies, education institutions are not categorized as schools with quality education. This is how it works. In the school where I work, WASC accreditation requires the school to meet accreditation criteria, which includes quality performances of teachers and high school performances of students. Added to that is the quality school program and activities given to students to achieve quality instructions from teachers through a thorough curriculum, unit plan, lessons, and observable classroom indicators to help students' performance. Moreover, collaborative work among all teaching staff and administrative staff is consistently improved through monitoring and evaluation processes. Furthermore, teachers' performances is evaluated twice a year to ensure that their qualification in teaching is aligned to the standards set by the accreditation agencies. Why should education leadership manage quality? This is because society, parents, students, and country leaders have high expectations for higher order of learning in schools and universities. This 21st century, leadership in education is more challenging than before. Education leaders should not just have leadership skills, but also managerial skills to manage the quality. Managing quality doesn't entail only managing resources, stakeholders, schools, activities, and programs, but also managing the safety of staff and students from the global pandemic and ensuring that all problems and issues in relation to managing quality education are taken care of. On top of that, education leaders' ethical behavior is being scrutinized. Education leaders must ensure that they are portraying the code of ethics and conduct in the most ethical way so their subordinates will imitate them. So, what are the ways to teach ethics in managing for equality? How can teaching ethics help manage for equality? For education leaders, setting up an example is one way of implicitly teaching ethics to staff. However, the best way to teach ethics to teaching staff is to monitor and evaluate their behavior. For example, being punctual, following the dress code, attending meetings and professional development, doing lesson plans, reports, and teaching with utmost passion must be consistently followed up through departmental meetings to ensure that everyone is adhering to set code of ethical behavior and conduct in school. For school leaders, there should also be a survey given to teachers and students to evaluate how the leaders or managers are performing in school, aside from the evaluation and feedback from immediate supervisors. According to Tasik et al., human resources are crucial factors and significant in innovating institutions and organizations to enhance the socioeconomic well-being of school management. With the challenging task in education management this 21st century, it is vital for education leaders and managers to keep themselves with competence, excellence, and expertise. They should be open to continuous learning and be a lifelong learner. In this century, innovative ideas are needed topple down problems and issues in school leadership and administration. Additionally, there is a constant change in the learning environment to promote a creative and active learning atmosphere in schools. Therefore, education leaders and managers must lead and manage according to what the 21st century education management requires them to do. That is ensuring students' enhancement of the 21st century learning skills to help them cope with the 21st century challenges. If you're going to look at government schools are more prone to have problems and issues in educational leadership and management than private schools. Government schools have authority and control over the budget, curriculum management, and resources of public schools. Due to this, leading and managing a public institution is more demanding and challenging. Leaders tend to follow direct orders from government, and all decisions made are based on what the government would want public schools to do. On the other hand, leading and managing in a private institution is more likely to give freedom for education leaders and managers to lead and manage freely according to what the needs of stakeholders are. They base their decisions on observable needs of human capitals and human resources. For example, this pandemic has brought lots of challenges in teaching and learning. Due to lockdowns and restrictions, the schools need to come up with synchronous and asynchronous modes of teaching. For private institutions, their classrooms are equipped with digital resources to cater the needs of online learners during the pandemic. While the public schools, education leaders and teachers tend to wait for the government to approve budgets to make teaching and learning online accessible. Managing and leading are two different tasks. However, this century tends to merge managing and leading as one task to be done by education leaders and managers. Sometimes these two overlap each other, which gives more burden on school leaders. Managers care for human resources and human capitals while leaders lead them. Leaders share a vision, managers enact it through achievable goals. Leaders communicate, connect, collaborate with stakeholders. Managers manage behavior, problems, and issues pertaining stakeholders' performances. Managers control the education. Managing while leading is a very tedious task. So there is an overlap of job descriptions if I'm going to look at it in a different way. As I have mentioned earlier, people in this position, this management task or leadership task, must be fully equipped with both leadership and managerial skills. What makes it more challenging and difficult is that everything tends to fall on the leaders or managers when something seems not right. So in this case, expertise in management and leadership is the most sought skills of education managers and leaders in this century. In conclusion, universities should prepare future education leaders with expertise on management skills. Education leadership and management should be properly addressing the current trend of this century. So learning must be based on real life situations and not just on theories. Managing quality in education management not only requires good leadership skills, but also entails collaborative work with other stakeholders to meet a quality standard of education in this century. Moreover, education managers or leaders must be open to continuous learning and be a lifelong researcher or learner to be fitted in the field of leadership and management of the schools in this century. Thank you.